as their guys get set to match up between the Detroit Lions and the Buffalo Bills.
We play to win. Let's go!
Down, 18 Gator. Let's go.
First carry of the game for Christian McCaffrey. And he's upended after a gain of 2 out to the 27.
When we talk about Luke Kuechly, you can't talk about his overall game without talking about his intelligence and how he controls the whole defense. He quarterbacks that defense, and at times will actually make checks, just like a quarterback would on offense to get them into the right defense. They definitely were on that play. How about that finish, holding that to a minimal gain.
Looking to throw on second down. Lawrence. And his guys are going to get the football at the 37-yard line. The CD, I know it's just his second year in the league as a quarterback, but that's going to be one when he flips on the tape. He's like, I shouldn't have thrown that ball.
No doubt about it, and his coaching staff will be emphatic about he shouldn't have thrown that ball. But remember, second year, as you noted, on-the-job training, so he's got to take this feedback that he's getting, negative or otherwise, and turn it into positives moving forward.
11 yards and a Buffalo first down.
Usually we see runs like this as the defense breaks down later in the game, but this guy is setting the tone early, running through all types of tackles and put the defense back on its heels.
Ready! 15 Lonnie, 15 Lonnie. Defense wins championships, baby. And go!
Right back to him on first down. And he went nowhere. He'll lose yardage back to the 29. That's going to go as a loss of 4, and it'll be second down.
Nice play right there to stop him behind the line, but I want to see how this defense continues to play him here in the first half.
Yeah, we know. You know better than I. He has the ability to take over a game, so what do?
Yeah, I think you have to make sure that you bottle him in at varying levels, because if you crowd everyone to the line of scrimmage, if he breaks through, there's nothing but room to run.
And he's got room. And he is into the end zone for a Buffalo touchdown. Deebo Samuel, his second touchdown on the season, as his guys are able to strike first here in this opening quarter. And his kick is no good. An inauspicious start here kicking-wise as this one stays a 6-0 game. So with the missed PAT in his rearview mirror, he goes back out to kick this one off. That's fielded in the end zone.
Let's go, go!
The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that? Nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
Brandon, if I'm an offensive coordinator and I see an all-out rush like that, I file it away because I'm going to use their aggressiveness against them as this game goes on. I'm going to hit them with a screen soon.
Well, they're in some hot water now after that sack. It's 2nd and 21. Oh, the pressure too great, and he goes down once more. Bradley Chubb in there to drop him, and sacks on 1st and 2nd downs. Now leads to a 3rd and long. After the sack, they'll come up now 3rd and long.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised to see them run the ball here just to try and get some space.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. Into a double team, and it's intercepted. Picked off at the 28, and his guys are going to get the football at the 28-yard line.
Well, they didn't exactly show patience there, did they? Just down a score, they come out firing right away and compound things by throwing an interception. They put their defense in a really tough spot.
Now, meanwhile, a pass that should have been intercepted, but it winds up falling incomplete. So now they'll come up on 2nd and 10, once again from the 28. They'll try the left side. Swift. 2nd down, a little more productive than 1st. 7 yards on the gain. It gets him to 3rd and 3 now.
That's a really good job right there. Just kept stringing that play out, pushing him further and further towards the sideline. Really good fundamentals by that defense.
He was trying to put his foot in the ground and turn upfield. He just couldn't.
No, they really had a picket fence in front of him. No room.
And he'll take it into the end zone for a Buffalo touchdown. A great effort there with touchdown number 7 on the year. And the Bills will add on to their lead. This time, the extra point up and good. And the lead now stands at 13. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. This is taken about 7 yards deep.
Let's go, baby.
At their own 25-yard line.
On the double.
The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. And it's been a miserable start for them offensively. Obviously, 2 drives, 2 interceptions.
And this is where you have to know your quarterback and know how you actually have to reach him. Do you do it with a little bit of humor? Maybe you break the ice a little bit like, hey, didn't we practice in that colored jersey all week, not the one that you're throwing it to? Or maybe you have to be stern with him. But whatever it's going to take to get the message, it has to be done. He's putting the game in jeopardy.
They go play action here on first down. And the catch made by Hopkins. A very solid gain of 27.
Brandon, so many times we see the crossing route start as a quick hitter, but in this play, he had time in the pocket and waited for him to clear going across.
A big hitter to start the drive has him up near midfield here for first and 10. A handoff, McCaffrey running right. In on the tackle there, Luke Kuechly.
Well, we saw him there trying to get it to the outside, trying to get to the perimeter, but not a whole lot of room there. But there's got to be one positive to that. If you keep moving laterally, creases tend to develop as the game moves on, and they can run it back inside later.
The run only got a yard. Here's 2nd and 9.
Watch left, watch left, watch left. He's top 5.
On the ground, McCaffrey. He's got the first down and more inside the 40. And finally taken down at the 20-yard line. And he will finally be tracked down at the Bills' 20.
Exactly what they needed right there, because they needed to use the ground game to take some pressure off, because the quarterback's been struggling a little bit.
So a big play as it gets him all the way down to the 20 now for first and 10. From the red zone now, they'll look to throw. And I think that one might have been intercepted, but he will be ruled out of bounds. So this will go only as incomplete. Well, interceptions have been a problem in this one. If he could have gotten his feet down here, it would have been another.
Would have been a huge one. They've had a great game taking the ball away. Thought they had another one, just unable to get those cleats in bounds.
To throw again, Lawrence. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Emmanuel Agba able to run him down for a loss of 12 that time.
They were in the top 5 in sacks in the league coming into this one. That's their 3rd one in this game. Obviously, pass rush has been a strength of this team all year long.
And apparently they're not satisfied with top 5. They want to climb that ladder.
Yeah, I think it goes back to their offseason. They decided to make it a priority, and it's working out.
Throwing on 3rd and long. Lawrence. And here's another interception, the 3rd of this first quarter. Picked off inside the 10. Buffalo offense ready to go for their next drive. They find themselves in a good-sized hole here, and a good-sized hole early on in this game as they come up on first down. Now a first down run is sniffed out from the start as they'll drop him for a loss of 4. It's a loss of 4 there, bringing up 2nd down. 13-0 is the score after 1 on EA Sports.
Motion, motion, watch it, watch it. Yeah. 6 orange. Number 53, Mike 53. Go, go, go.
Off the play fake. Love. And he's got his man on the out route. And he is into the end zone for a Buffalo touchdown. A big play there. His third touchdown now on the year. And the Bills will add on to their lead. Extra point by McLaughlin is up and good. And that pushes the lead up to an even 20. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. That'll be taken in the end zone. And he's up past the 20 to the 22-yard line.
At their own 22-yard line.
Ready.
The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. And we don't want to call this desperation time, especially in the second quarter, but you're down.
Want to.
Let me finish.
Okay, my bad.
You're down 3 scores already. You've done nothing offensively, nothing on the scoreboard. That's not a good combination.
I think you just called it desperation time. I think you did. But let's face it, you mentioned this to me in a break earlier in the game. The energy level hasn't been there right from the start. We've noticed that. They've got to find a way to get on their toes and start punching instead of retreating, to use a boxing analogy.
And for the 4th time tonight, it's an interception. Picked off at the 28. Boy, so another interception, CD, and it feels like he's starting to unravel a little bit.
And as you would expect, still a work in progress here in his second season. He has to start ironing out some of these mistakes, though.
And under the Lions' pressure, he's brought down. Anthony Barr comes rumbling in for the sack.
Well, maybe that can give him a little bit of a pick-me-up, a little bit of a jolt. One of the few things that's gone right defensively.
Because other than that, it's really been a first half to forget. On second down now, Swift. 9 yards on the gain there, and it's going to bring up a tough 3rd and 7.
And that's the kind of run that gets everyone excited on offense. And, you know, oftentimes the guys who carry the ball are the ones in the huddle doing the chirping. Right now, I think it's the offensive line telling them, run it again. We are right there about to break a big one.
Back to throw. Love. And the throw there going to be incomplete.
You hear the calls for a penalty, but I just don't think so. I think in this situation, the defender was making sure his guy couldn't hold on to the football. So I don't see anything that warranted a flag.
No, I'm with you. There was contact, but I'm happy they kept that flag in the back pocket. This is away and a very good kick, angled for the sidelines. And this will carry out of bounds. Where are they going to spot it now? At about the 18-yard line, it looks like. The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. And they've sort of lost their way, partner. How do they recalibrate and get this proverbial train back on track?
Well, this is where leadership really comes into play. How's the head coach handling it? The offensive coordinator? Sometimes they just make a joke. All right, guys, had your fun? All right,
throw it out the window.
Yeah, let's get back on track here. And sometimes that'll work just fine.
I guess it's time now to lean on that leadership. That catch good for only a yard, and it'll be 3rd down. To throw on 3rd down, Lawrence. And he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete. Problems on 3rd down so far in this first half. Relatively small sample size, but they're now 0 for 3.
And the average in the league, somewhere around 40% on 3rd down for offenses. So what's the answer to this? Either convert them or don't get to 3rd down in the first place. Get your big chunks of yards on 1st and 2nd down.
Taken in at the 22. A big boot that time, 57 yards the official distance. And the Bills will take over the football with a 1st and 10. The Bills come to the line to start their next drive. And they're coming off a 3-and-out, my friend.
I think they've got to look at that play sheet and go to a spot that they haven't gone before. Time to shake things up a little bit to try and get this offense moving.
Okay, so how do you do that? How do you shake things up?
You look at what you've called before, realize it hasn't worked
so well. Go to something else.
And maybe you try and find one of those special plays from one of your better players, and maybe try and hit something big and get things going in the excitement area.
And he'll push his way forward to about the 32. Call it a gain of 5 that time, and they'll be left with a 3rd and about 4. They don't need to run another play here before the 2-minute warning. Let's see if they do it anyway. Looking to throw. Love. And he will find his man on the outside. And he goes out of bounds just shy of the 45. 12 yards that time and a Bills 1st down. 2 minutes remaining in this first half of football. Coming up in a couple of minutes, we'll get you to Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. The coach will have stats and scores from earlier today in the NFL. And he's going to get it across the midfield stripe into Lion territory. A solid run on first down. Gain of 7 leaves him with a 2nd and 3. Well, we know he's an electric runner. Earlier this half, you were wondering how they were going to bottle him up at different levels. That was your suggestion. Some mixed results.
Yeah, certainly, because we have seen him bottled up at times. We've seen him playing very well. We've also seen him pop the cork a few times and get out of there, haven't we?
We have indeed. It's a gain of 13 and a Buffalo first down. So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. Now a give, right side. Swift. 10 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down.
Now that was an excellent run. And when you see that happen, that's when you're seeing guys doing their job and then some people doing a little bit more. Offensive linemen and tight ends, they're expected to block. But the wide receivers, all they want to do is catch passes. So when they block on a big-time running play and create extra space, you've kind of hit the jackpot there.
15 yards that time, and a Buffalo first.
Partner, they weren't quite in the red zone, but things are starting to get condensed on the field. Throwing the corner route there. Really nice play because it gives him a little bit of room to complete it.
And he'll get this one down to about the 10-yard line. Now the Bills are going to use the first of their timeouts as they stop it with 19 seconds to go in half number 1. On 2nd down, Swift. And able to get him inside the 5 here, just inside the 5 to about the 4. Now the Bills will use the 2nd of their timeouts as they'll stop it with 13 seconds to play in half number 1. They come out here in the I. Here comes play number 9 now as they come up on a 3rd and 3. They'll try the left side. Swift. Oh, this is going to depend on the spot, but it's not a very generous one. He looks to be about a yard or so short. He needed 3. He got 2. Now that'll set up an interesting situation here on 4th and a yard. And we're going to get a timeout with 2 seconds remaining in the second quarter. And likely time for one final play here in the half, so they will go for it on 4th down. They'll try and run for it. And I'm not sure he got there. Did they stop him? They did. So we reach halftime in what's been a fairly one-sided game so far. As we'll head down to Orlando, that's where we find our man Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And he'll wind up getting an extra couple yards here for his trouble as he'll bring this one out to the 27. Buffalo offense ready to go for their next drive. And last time, they had it 4th and goal, rolled the dice, didn't get it. Now they've got to put that behind them, try to put together another drive.
Hey, a simple tip of the cap, a nod of the head to the defense. Congratulations, you got us last time. But you didn't hold us the whole time. We got down to position. We were able to be in position to score. Let's go ahead and attack again. Continue to have that kind of confidence. Not worry about the one play that didn't allow them to get into the end zone.
And this time they'll be trying to get it into the end zone. We'll see what they do. Took just one play to move all the way to the 44 as they try again on 1st down. Now a man open down the middle of the field. And he is able to take this way down into Detroit territory. A big play here for the Bills. 49 yards. The chain gang hustling to catch up. Here's 1st and goal from just inside the 10. They'll try the left side. Swift. And they'll get this from the 8 to the 5. Pickup of 3.
Well, the spotlight hit him once already tonight as he got into the end zone. He was trying to make it a double spotlight, wasn't he?
But credit the defense, bottling him up, not letting him get in for the second score there. They'll keep it on the ground. Swift. And he's able to get it down to the 2-yard line.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball, protect this lead. Give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point. Going to make that defense stand up and stop them. On 3rd down, Swift. And he takes it in across the chalk for a Bills touchdown. A great play there. with his second touchdown of the game, number 8 on the season. And the Bills will add on to their lead. Extra point by McLaughlin is up and good. And that stretches the lead all the way up to 27. That'll be taken in the end zone. And he'll take it back to about the 19-yard line. The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. These guys had to punt last time. It has not been a very fruitful game offensively thus far. They haven't even made a trip to the red zone.
And I know that everyone's going crazy on that sideline because that drives you berserk to come off the field, not really move the ball well. As you said, not even get to the red zone, let alone, not even put points on the board. They've got to just take a deep breath, relax, try and figure out what is working, and call more of that.
Back to the ground on first. It's McCaffrey. It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3.
And there we saw one of the downsides of blitzing during a rundown because sometimes you get out of your gaps. You don't fit the run quite as well because you're headed towards the ball carrier with abandon.
On 2nd down, McCaffrey. Call it a gain of 3, but not enough to move the sticks. It'll be 3rd and about a foot or 2. Off play action. Lawrence. And he's got Snead. And he brings this up to the 46. Good enough for the first. Call it a gain of 7, and it gets him a new set of downs. Now a play fake here on 1st down. He uncorks it first. And I think that one might have been intercepted, but he will be ruled out of bounds. So this will go only as incomplete.
And that's why defenders are often frustrated offensive guys. Actually made the catch, looked good doing it, but couldn't get his feet down in order to finish off the takeaway.
An incomplete pass on 1st down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. Throwing again. Lawrence. That's incomplete. Nearly another pick. My goodness.
Trying to decipher what's going on out there because I don't know if he's just getting bad reads. I don't know if the defense is confusing him. I don't know if he just has, bad info and intel before he snaps the ball. But he's made some pretty bad decisions with the football lately.
Yeah, several bad decisions on the interceptions he's thrown, and frankly, that should have been another pick right there. And they do get this across midfield to the 49, but a small consolation prize as he's well short of the first. On 4th down, Lawrence. And he's got the completion to Hopkins. And he's got this down a yard or 2 shy of the 40 before he's out of bounds. They're able to keep the drive alive, 7 yards that time, and the decision to go for it proves to be a good one. This quarterback now, 5 straight completions here in this second half, 1st and 10. He'll buy some time right, and that is incomplete. Showed off the arm strength there, but to no avail. 2nd down. Well, this secondary has done such a good job of frustrating these receivers tonight. Another example right there on the deep ball.
Sometimes when the sun goes down and it's just the bright lights in the stadium, there's a little extra spring in their step, doesn't it? And that's what we're seeing from the defenders. Doesn't matter if there's man, there's zone, deep ball, short ball, and that was a deep one there. They're making plays on the football, contesting everything.
That one covers 29 yards. 1st down. Inside the red zone here. They'll look to throw. And that is caught on the right sideline, but out of bounds, says the line judge. The throw took him a little too far. It's 2nd down. So they'll come up after the incompletion for 2nd down. To throw again. Lawrence. And they're not able to hook up there. Incomplete. This drive, which was going so smoothly, all of a sudden it's a little bit of a roadblock here with 2 straight incompletions.
Yeah, apparently this defense has had enough. Apparently they're saying, no more. We're taking a stand right here, right now. But it is 3rd and 10. They've got to get after him one more time.
I got you, boy. 53's the mic. 50.
On 3rd down, Lawrence. And my goodness, another interception. Picked off inside the 5. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. The Bills come to the line to start their next drive. And that last drive, a long drive, but not just that. They had a great air attack going. Do they stick with it?
I would think that they would, because if they were confident enough to do it on the last drive, starting backed up in their own territory, why would you change anything? They've got to be confident about what they're presenting and continue to do so.
Yeah, because the secondary, they really look clueless.
And that was amazing because that drive went and went, no adjustments, and no big plays by the defense to knock the ball away.
And a short gain across the 15 to the 17-yard line. Back now in Buffalo. A lot of happy faces in the crowd at this point as their guys have a big lead here to start quarter number 4. The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8. Now a give right side. Swift. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. That second down play nets a -4.
Brandon, it's clearly a running situation when you're up in the fourth quarter. They're going to have to stack the box and make it difficult for them to move the ball.
Made it very difficult right there. Now they need to repeat that effort.
Yeah, bring 7, 8, 9, whatever it's going to take to slow them down.
Back to throw. Love. Wide open receiver complete. And they finally get him down at the other 46. A big play here for Buffalo. And even 40 yards. So the line of scrimmage moves all the way across the 50 now as they come up 1st and 10. Looking to throw. Love. The ball popped in the air and intercepted. Picked off inside the 5. And he's going to return it to the 21-yard line.
Oh, and that's a nice job defensively to get a piece of the football. He's going to pop it into the air, and then it's the tip drill. And good concentration by him to react to it and pull in the interception.
They start on the ground with McCaffrey. And he's going to lose yardage here. Back to his own 18. The loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's 2nd down.
We think, Brandon, I like the intensity this defense is showing right here in these first few drives. They're not just holding the line because they're doing their job, but they're doing more than that, aren't they? They're getting a nice push into the offensive backfield.
And a great example right there for the loss on the tackle. And that'll be incomplete. We do have a penalty flag down, however. Let's see what that's about. A little too aggressive defensively, and the flag comes out.
And no one trying to cover is going to like a call going against them, but you have to like the effort there. Went for the interception, just unable to get it, and the flag did come out.
From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10.
Protein spill. Back, now.
McCaffrey following the penalty. Give him a couple on the carry there, 2nd and 8.
Doubling this guy has to be a priority before moving up to the next level because the big fella, he just ate that one alive, just stuffed it. In fact, before the game, he was talking to us, and he's like, hey, these pants make me look fat? And we said, nah, man, you're just a whole lot of guy.
He is at well over 300 pounds. He's a big man. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
We've been around this league for a while, and many coaches never play their starting quarterback, almost no matter the situation. In this case, though, I think he's got to make a decision. He's taking a pretty good beating out there.
Yeah, and with the deficit, maybe not wanting to risk an injury.
Mike 57. Big stop, G. Big stop. Let's go.
Off the play fake. Lawrence under pressure again, and down he goes again.
My man, it's been a rough night for that offensive line, and it's only getting rougher. 5 sacks now that they've given up in this contest so far. It feels like the witching hour out here, doesn't it?
Okay, stupid question. What's the witching hour?
Yeah, the witching hour. That's when everything goes haywire late at night.
The punt team on now as Pinion sends this one away. They'll look to set up his blockers. And that's going to go in the books as a 55-yard punt. Well done. Buffalo offense ready to go for their next drive. With this lead and the football, things obviously looking good, but maybe, you've taught me this before, maybe this is where the defense is hoping that the offense helps them preserve that shutout that they've got going.
And it has to be in the minds of the offense that they know how rare it is to get a shutout. So take care of them, protect them, take care of the ball, move it downfield, run the clock down. You don't want your defense to have to go on the field again the rest of the game. Reward them.
So it's Bills football here as we get you reset. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. Running game working. They'll stick with it on first down. It's a 6-yard pickup, and it gets them to 2nd and 4.
Oh, that's one to warm the hearts of all those old-school football players, isn't it? Tough, hard, gritty run, got behind his pads, bowled over a few people. Look at that one, right up the gut.
Saw through 3 quarters, no reason to lighten up now. They'll keep it on the ground. Swift, and maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. Finally, defensively, they have a little clip to show positive for actually stopping him running the football.
It's been a really long night for them, hasn't it? So they got a little bit of a win there, but let's face it, the vision that he's had running the football has carried his feet to the open spaces and the big yardage.
And this is caught, and they are going to score again. Yet another touchdown as they just add to their totals. Extra point by McLaughlin is up and good. And the lead will swell by 1 more. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. That's fielded in the end zone. And he'll get it up to about the 26-yard line, just across the 25. The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. They are just obviously getting shellacked here in this one, Charles. What's the message if you're a coach for this final drive in a lopsided game like this?
For a lot of coaches,
be honest,
don't forget today.
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Bradley Chubb, his 2nd sack of the night.
Now, we talk about players blitzing all the time. I often laugh and sometimes call it just straight-ahead pursuit. What a running start right back to the backfield for him.
Yeah, it really didn't give anybody a chance to get up there and stop it.
No, I mean, that's really, really difficult. You're asking a whole lot anyway, but when he gets that kind of a start and comes through clean, oftentimes the advantage definitely goes to the defensive player.
Throwing on 3rd and long. Lawrence. Now a desperation throw deep downfield. And they almost had another one. They are all over the football in this game. Nearly another pick. Now 4th down. And how about this? 4th and long, and they're going to go for it.
Watch the run, watch the run. Hey, high 7. They go.
One final shot. They'll look to throw. He finds Hopkins complete. And he's not able to get away. He is stopped well short of a first down. So it's a victory here for the Buffalo Bills. And I tell you what, Charles, this might be about as good as it gets. They were incredible.
Yeah, offense was in fine form. The defense threw the shutout at them. I think they worked in concert together. What I like about the offense was they held the ball pretty well. You know, time of possession, exactly what they were looking for in this one. And that helped out their defense. Didn't have to be out there the entire time. So when you do that and you're out there fresh playing, off a little extra spring in your step, and it showed up in this one.
They had a ton of spring in their step. Impressive victory. So for the Bills, that early momentum continues here as they move to 4-0, and they'll get to stay home again next week. Meanwhile, for Detroit, they'll drop down to 1-3, and they'll get a chance to redeem themselves at home next week.